This early morning, let us chant Kenchen Jigme Punt Sok's swift bestowal of blessings, as well as meditate. This is Lama Jigme Gyatso doing his Hermione imitation of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. Welcome to Meditate Like a Jedi, brought to you by the kind folks who help support this channel on Patreon. This early morning, we could chant and meditate and enjoy a lesson or two, but first, if you love Star Wars and you wish to meditate as transformatively as Rey on Ahch-To under the guidance of Luke Skywalker, be sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell. Good news. If at any point during this early morning's live stream you have a specific question about Buddhist meditation or Buddhist philosophy or how to apply them to your life, simply type that question in great detail in the chat window on the right-hand side of the screen. Because today I'm a day late and $1 short, we're going to skip our opening lesson and go straight to the practice text. Welcome to Kenchen Jigme Punsok's Swift Bestowal of Blessings, a sadhana of the archetype Peaceful Manjushri, adapted and amplified by yours truly. Now, speaking of which, I'm going to add an amplification right now. Let's see, here we go. Aha. So let's make this 35. This is going to skew the display for a couple moments. I will remedy it as soon as I can. Okay. Now I'm going to tap button 9, and that is my panacea. And away we go. Please chant with me. The ground is primordially pure space, the youthful vast body is radiant energy unceasing. My own awareness, my own awareness, bodhicitta, is of the nature of the archetype Manjushri on an ultimate level. In recognition of this my own true essence, I take refuge in the illusory city of interdependent, deluded perception, being relentlessly by clinging to things as real, to bring them all to the primordial freedom of the mastery of awareness and letting go. I generate bodhicitta in the great settling beyond extremes. Okay, so now we come to the third verse, and I will give a little exposition on this. Let's see, our third verse is 20, Control G, go to 2, and it's right there. The next one, maybe not. So let's go back to Control G to 0. Let's fix the display. Un momento. Okay. Please bear with me. Having a technical challenge. Okay, here we go. Okay. One moment. Fourth verse 24. Excellent. Okay. So hopefully you're still here, and we can actually hit this morning's exposition now. So we'll begin by chanting it. And as you can infer by the bold and accented vowels, what we're going to do is chant each couplet or triplet using quarter notes in a monotone, with the exception of the first and the second to last syllables. Samsara is entirely positive and nirvana is wholly good too. In the all good expanse there is no birth, no death, no pleasure, no pain. Through the power of the truth of the unchanging capacity to notice and release, may the inspiration to realize true reality descend upon us. Now let's see if we can make sense of this. Samsara is entirely positive and nirvana is wholly good too. So this hyperbolic statement is designed to say, to help open the gate to free us from the prison cell of the duality of forever pushing and pulling. How could samsara be positive? Through the fundamental meditation that we're going to practice in just a few minutes of noticing and releasing. That is our panacea. It doesn't necessarily change the world around us, but it helps us to transcend our habitual resistance to it. The idea is expanded upon. In the all-good expanse there is no birth, no death, no pleasure, and no pain. All-good expanse is a reference to all-good one, which is a translation of Samantabhadra and Samantabhadri. Kuntu Sagpo Yabhyam. Samantabhadra is the Sanskrit word, Samantabhadra Karamamudra, or the Tibetan equivalent, Kuntu Sagpo Yabhyam. So, this emblem right here, this couple, where the man is the color of an azure sky and the woman is the color of a cumulus cloud, this is a reference to the phrase, all good. And of course, it reminds me of the trope of the Southern man saying, "It's all good, mama." But the negative dualities, no birth, no death, no pleasure, no pain, that is a callback to the exploration of Prajnaparamita in the Heart Sutra. And from my point of view, this is basically saying there is no birth that once noticed cannot be released. There is no death that once noticed cannot be released. So every duality of samsara and nirvana can both be noticed and then released, not based on faith, not based on intellect, but on simply working with the autonomic nervous system that is found in every vertebrate life form on this planet. So that would exclude the insects and squid. But for you and I, us vertebrates, we got it made. Let's continue. So when I talk about squid and insects, that is just outside of my wheelhouse. I have no advanced training in the neurology of either insects nor cephalopods. Or is it cephalopods? Through the power of the truth of the unchanging capacity to notice and release, may the inspiration to realize true reality descend upon us. So true reality is not something that we believe in. It's not a technique we go through life to ignore what's going on around us. True reality is found in the dichotomy of mindfulness and meditation. Consider, if you will, a bird, from the smallest little bush tit or hummingbird to the largest condor. I've never seen a one-wing bird take flight. Just as a bird requires both its wings to take to the sky, likewise, you and I each require both our capacity to notice and our capacity to release that are latent within our each inhalation and each exhalation. No vertebrate life form can survive the loss of the capacity to exhale or the loss of a capacity to inhale. We need both. So that need is unchanging, and their capacity is unchanging. Now, if this seems like this language is highly figurative, welcome to my world. This concludes the opening exposition. And now let's continue with our high-speed chanting. But first, I need to prepare for my next lesson. So 4:24, I think I shall go to 2. And yes, that's going to skew the display. Control G, 21. Go back, and now adjust the display by tapping button number 9. Almost miraculously. We come to the first of 2 silent meditations that are like bookends, one from the beginning, one towards the end. This one could be described, this awareness and letting go's mindfulness and meditation could be described by many terms, such as Zen, Chan, Ati Yoga, Mahamud, the Dzogchen's Trek Show, which of course helps us to slice through the fundamental, which helps us to slice through our clinging. These techniques are also known as Great Completion Stage Tantra, Mahasandhi. So, despite the grandiosity of their names and descriptors, the technique is fairly simple. Let us look at it from 3 points of view. First, from the perspective of Kaya, simply physically emulates the posture described by the statue whose photograph is found in the center of the page. When it comes to anapana, or respiration, we want our inhalation to be shorter and sharper. We want our exhalation to be longer and softer. When it comes to chitta, our mind, our thought, as we breathe in, let us silently and mentally recite the sensory verb watch. The reason we do that is because we are wired in such a way that every time we inhale, we automatically access our sympathetic nervous system, which has evolved not to concentrate but to notice, vulnerably, passively, viscerally, and randomly. What could it notice? It can notice the external or the internal, the physical or the mental, the pleasurable or the painful, the interesting or the boring, the glorious or the grotesque. What are we to do with all this stuff that we notice? Fortunately, every time we exhale, we are wired to access our parasympathetic nervous system effortlessly, automatically, which in turn has evolved for both physical relaxation as well as mental release. So if meditation is all about using the tools of our autonomic nervous system, then why do we do it if it's already wired into us? Due to the caprice of evolution and the odd evolutionary twists and turns of the 3-pound squishy supercomputer between our ears, we often live in contrast or in conflict with these natural mechanisms. Sitting here in meditation, we are exercising the intention to align our will, our volition, with the inner therapist of our factory-installed programming. let us return to our chanting. In an experience of reality, primordial purity, and profound luminosity, the spontaneously present play of awareness dawns as great compassion. Inseparable unity extending everywhere is the vajra of space, which fully emerges in the parent form as a symbolic mudra. Monjugosha, the embodiment of the wisdom of all the Buddhas. He is peaceful, smiling, graced with signs and marks, and youthful. He has the glow of twilight clouds and is adorned with jewels and silks. In his right hand he holds aloft and brandishes a sword of wisdom. In his left he holds a volume of text that rests upon an upala flower. He is seated on a water-borne lotus resting upon a full moon disk, with his two legs crossed in a posture of majestic ease. Within each and every pore of his body, self-arisen tantric mandalas appear in countless number. This reminds us that every physical experience we encounter could be rendered divine simply by our practice of awareness and release. Above, below, and all around, amidst an expansive rainbow light, the root and lineage gurus, dakinis, and earthbound guardians arise as a spontaneous adornment like specks of dust in a sunbeam. Through the force of Ati Yoga, empty of existence and non-existence, this Samaya connection of student to teacher is always fully present like space. O Sugata of perfect bliss, turn your attention toward me. One moment, if you please. O Sugata of perfect bliss, turn your attention toward me. Youthful Manju Sri Yuhun, body of fortune and splendor, from the natural and unelaborated palace of the mastery of awareness and release. Embodiment of compassion, spontaneous and uncontrived, transcendent conqueror in order to dispel the darkness of unknowing and conceptuality. I invite you in yourself a wisdom from come now, I pray. in order to rid my mind of attachment to good and bad. With regard to the visualized samaya beings and actually abiding jhana wisdom beings, remain here with you who embody wisdom, love, and power. Transcendent conqueror, steadfast and invisibly united, I pray. The wisdom deity-oriented similes may arise from the expansive inner luminosity and appear as an arrangement of face hands adornments, but it is the manifestations of man's own utter purity of love and letting go. In recognition of my very essence of awareness, release, and love, I offer symbolic homage. All phenomena represented by the objects of sensory cognition are purely non-graspable from the beginning and perfect in this gesture of offering. Without attachment and through the magic of king-like mindfulness, I make these perpetual offerings that entirely fill the vast expanse of awareness and release. Through the secret path of instructions that do not arise from Scripture, you seize the stronghold of a fruition that does not derive from causes, the supreme primordial Buddhahood that does not originate in mind. Sovereign of all Buddha families, to you I offer homage and praise. With sight sounds and mixed experience as well as non-graspable as... Let's try this again. With sight sounds and mind experienced as non-grasp... There we go. There's the error. With sight sounds and mixed experience... mixed is not... Okay. With sight sounds and mind experienced... There we go. This might be easier. With sight, sounds, and mind experienced as non-graspable as deity mantra as well as awareness and release. Deity mantra and dharmata as a great perfection of awareness emptiness, and awareness emptiness is my own cognizance, all penetrating and beyond limits, in a state that is undistracted and free of grasping. I recite the sacred mantra Omara Patsanati. This real quick. May all minds of all beings know BSB. So, what is the secret to transforming mindless mantra recitation into truly transformative mantra meditation? The secret is twofold. Number one, when chanting the mantra, physically relax as best you can. Number two, when breathing in, silently and mentally recite either A, wisdom-inducing rhetorical question, or B, a compassion-inducing loving intention. Now this compassion-inducing loving intention is cryptic. So in the previous page, we flesh it out. May all minds of all beings know be as peaceful and wise as the mind of a Buddha flows and balas via one syllable Siti Cleo Bija Mantra. Umarabazanani, 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 Umarabazanani. Umarabazanani, 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 Umarabazanani. Umarabazanani, 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 Umarabazanani. Umarabazanani, 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 Umarabazanani. Let us leap over interpersonal competition. May all relationships of all beings know be as joyful and loving as a real Ramajun Buddha's communication symbolized by the 7-syllable mantra. Umarabazanani, 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 Umarabazanani. Umarabazanani, 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 Umarabazanani. Umarabazanani, 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 Umarabazanani. Umarabazanani, 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 Umarabazanani. Let us leap over our physical competition. May all bodies of all beings now enjoy the beautiful health depicted in Buddhist thought, of the blissful body of a yidam of lower and archetype of enlightenment. Umarabazanani, 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 Umarabazanani. Umarabazanani, 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 Umarabazanani. Umarabazanani, 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 Umarabazanani. Umarabazanani, 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 Umarabazanani. Let us leap over circumstantial competition. May all circumstances, all lots of all beings now have the safety, good fortune, or boon, as a Buddha's real or imagined paradise, pure land of Auntie. Umarabazanani, 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 Umarabazanani. Umarabazanani, 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 Umarabazanani. Umarabazanani, 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 Umarabazanani. Umarabazanani, 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 Umarabazanani. We're going to leap over our clinging tendencies. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever we notice during all previous inhalation could feel as non-graspable as a vast empty void. Like the illusion of the infinite azure sky on a beautiful cloudless morn, which although compelling to the eye is non-graspable to the hand. Un momento. Let us use the first version to leap over circumstantial clinging. How is it that as we inhale all circumstances could could appear quite vivid. Yet as we relax into our exhalation, they could feel as non-graspable as a real or imagined paradise or vati of light. Umara Pazanadi, Umara Pazanadi, Umara Pazanadi, Umara Pazanadi. 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 Let us use the second vision to leap over physical clinging. How is it that as we inhale, our bodies or forms could feel quite sensual? Yet as we relax into our exhalation, they could feel as non-graspable as a real or imagined archetype or yadam of light. Umara Pazanadi, Umara Pazanadi, Umara Pazanadi, Umara Pazanadi. 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 With the third vision, we leap over interpersonal clinging. How is it that as we inhale, the interpersonal experience of communication or speech could be quite resounding? Yet as we relax into our exhalation, it could feel as non-graspable as a real or imagined mantra of light. With the fourth vision, we can leap over mental clinging. How is it that as we inhale, we could clearly perceive mind's functions quite clearly? Take two. How is it that as we inhale, we could perceive mind's functions quite clearly? Yet as we relax into our exhalation, they could feel as non-graspable as a real or imagined suitability of light. Umara Bazana Di 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 We come now to our final silent meditation of this early morning live stream. This meditation of bliss and letting go could serve as an antidote to craving. It is known by many names, such as completion stage tantra, anu yoga, bindu mahamudra, and tikale drop. During our short inhalation, we silently and mentally recite the sensory verb feel. During our exhalation, during our longer and softer exhalation, we silently and mentally recite the hyphenated verb relaxing. Consider for a moment, one moment if you please. Consider for a moment the artwork depicting Zhumpal Yang Yub Yum. Their nudity reminds us of the vulnerability necessary for mindfulness. Their implied translucence reminds us of our experience of releasing during exhalation's relaxation. Their beauty reminds us of love that is the fringe benefit of awareness and release. The stability with which he sits reminds us of centeredness, and the abandon with which she sports reminds us of spontaneity. And now we come to our concluding chant. Oof. In the extensive abundance cup of the unborn expansive awareness and release, all that manifests from the ground samsaric and nirvanic phenomena are arranged as a feast. It is blessed with a view of my own untainted awareness, and becomes an object of delight to the deities who receive it. Actual gifts of food and drink and other substances are increased through the sky treasury absorption that's filling the entire expanse of boundless space. To the infinite three-root deities of Lama, Vuyata, meditation, and control action, I present this offering. Failing to hold to the natural state of all-penetrating awareness, and overpowered by attachment to notions of I and me, I have transgressed the Vajra command that is not to be taken lightly. Whatever faults I have committed, I hereby acknowledge and confess. I shall not reject thoughts that involve clinging to dualistic ideas, nor subject them to the path of transformation. Rather, I shall seal them with the sharp blade of naturally flowing awareness, within the vast primordial purity of relaxation and release in which phenomena are exhausted. All the limitless Dharma systems of grand path and fruition are like a wisdom symphony of deity and mantra. All the limitless Dharma systems of grand path and fruition are like a winsome symphony of deity, mantra, and dharmata. Uncreated and always present, may these clouds of perfection fulfill our solemn pledges of the victorious ones throughout space. To the mandala of deities within my own body that is utterly pure, I present this offering of immaculate nectar. Through this may I perfect the full visions and ripen as the light body of great transference. May all beings attain awakening altogether in a single mandala. May the guests of the remainder thoughts that arise when the stronghold is not secured within the precious expansive sphere of spontaneous presence. Accept this remainder grain offering like enthusiasm and compassion, and tend to the festival of benefit and happiness for the teachings and beings. As represented by this, may all virtues accumulated in the present and future ripen fully in the mushrooms of all beings throughout the whole of space. so that they may all awaken in the youthful false body, complete with its special features of inner luminosity. The pure Dharmakaya view of awareness and letting go settled in a state beyond the ordinary mind. The perfect Sambhogakaya meditation of bliss and letting go with a full measure of direct experience. And the mature Nirmanaya conduct of love and letting go spontaneous and uncontrived, in which space and awareness are indivisible. May all be auspicious for the effortless accomplish of these three kaya bodies. If you feel that I have earned it, you could type something in the chat window. You could give this live stream a thumbs up. You could share it with a friend. You could even help support this channel on Patreon. Whether you do or whether you don't, in approximately 9.25 hours, I would very much like to return to lead today's evening meditation. Until then, may you and yours be happy and healthy. And if you are as geeky as me, this is the way.